Ah, summer. Oh, that feeling of being out on the water, or maybe the back porch with an ice cold drink in your hand. Maybe it's lemonade, iced coffee, or sparkling water in your favorite emotional support cup. Just enough time to take a breath, maybe crack a smile, and get a little boost that will help you today as a leader. Welcome to the vibe of the Joyosity Summer Sips. So, whether you are a seasoned leader, you've been here a long time, or you're just figuring out what Joyosity podcast is, or a new leader kind of figuring out your way through the chaos, you belong here. And we base all of our work on three bedrock beliefs. Number one, true leadership requires more than surface level strategies. It requires a profound commitment to everything that makes us human. And number two, using genuine curiosity, we can create positive culture with complex people because, listen, complex people are all we got. And number three, joy is the heartbeat of a healthy leader and a healthy organization. So we put joy and fun and play right in the center of our work. I'm Jenn Whitmer, international speaker, leadership consultant, author, and all-around joy bringer, hosting you and guiding us along the way. With my co-host and podcast producer, Shelby Merriweather, we're serving up short, refreshing episodes this season. Just a conversation between Shelby and me that highlight what we learned over the 24-25 season of the Joyosity podcast. Each summer sip is just 8 to 12 minutes long, perfect for your walk, drive, or your morning pick-me-up. So be sure to check out the show notes for the full episodes if you want to dig in more what the full month was about and get a little boost for your leadership in this summer season. And if you want to keep practicing with joy while you're waiting for my book, Joyosity, to come out this fall, join the Joyosity Works very important party at jennwhitmer.com/books. That's Jenn with two N's, jennwhitmer.com/books. You'll get my 5-minute Friday videos that are quick, practical, and full of joy-fueled leadership tools that you can use right away. So now, grab your icy glass and let's take a sip. September, we talked to Moe Carrick, who is a leadership expert and around culture. I think the biggest thing I learned from Moe was one of the best definitions of culture that I've heard, which is the way we work together. And I have kind of adapted that in my work to the way we flow together, like how we flow together. I just think about that a lot when culture feels so meta and like far away, but it's really the everyday way that we flow together, how we work together in the ins and outs.
I remember most about her conversation. There was already a culture when it was just Shelb, when it was just a solo, when you're just a solopreneur, or when even like in your home, like sometimes I think about how there was already a culture when it was just me and when it was me engaged. And then when we keep adding these beautiful little humans, like it's like the players influence the culture, obviously, in huge ways. And it changes things in huge ways. But there is through lines, like through every phase of that. And with my business, it's like as just Shelby, like there was things that I was doing in my culture, my work culture, that I would never want my employees to do and you know what I mean? Like, it was like
you needed to care for yourself a little better.
Yeah,
Is what you're saying?
yeah. Like I was staying up late for things that I shouldn't have, like that kind of thing. And like, I think especially as freelancers and solopreneurs and founders and people that are starting things, just remembering that like you're still a culture, like as this business, as this leader, even though it's just you. And Jenn, you helped me with that early on in my business of recognizing like, Shelby, you are a leader, even when it's you're leading yourself. Like, and you also have that culture of yourself. Like, what do you want that to look like? What do you want that to be? I thought that was really powerful that she kind of sparked that in me when we talked with her. Yeah. Well, when you talked with her, and I feel like I was there with y'all. So
well, you get to do all the things where you feel like you are there. The thing that I come back to a lot is from some of the work with Mo and then other work that I've done with clients around culture is some people ask me a lot. It's like, oh, should we use the Enneagram as part of hiring? And I was like,
Mm,
not if you're using it as part of decisions,
mm,
but you can use it as part of onboarding. I think it's super helpful as
mm,
part of onboarding because when you are looking at somebody that you are wanting to hire, a lot of people talk about culture fit. So when
mm,
I was hiring and when I do hire, I think about competency, I think about character, and I think about culture. But people talk about culture fit. And I think we need to be thinking about it like a culture add. What does this add to our culture? What does this spice? What does this
oh,
ingredient? Who is this person and how will they add to our culture? Because I think when we talk about fit, which I understand where we got this, and
yeah,
I used to think about it that way too. But my thinking has changed because I think when we think about it like fit, we're not expanding it enough. It's
uh-huh,
too insular. You kind of become an echo chamber. You start hiring people just like yourselves. You don't have the diversity, which then decreases your innovation and your creativity. And so, like thinking about it as a cultural add, how can this person add to the way that we work together? That shift I have found to be really powerful for my clients that I work with, but also just myself. Like, how does this
yeah,
person add to what I'm doing? What do they have that I don't? Just
yeah,
always what I'm looking for. like, but sometimes as a leader, you're looking to hire somebody who can replace you because
yeah,
you're moving up. So think about it like a cultural ad. I think
mhm,
that's something that was really powerful that Mo's
yeah.
conversation sparked in me.
Yeah, I like the idea of like a spice. Like it's different and it can be powerful and it can be subtle, but like just the idea that like we don't want of course we don't want everybody to be the same. Like of
Right.
course we don't want all the same ideas. I love when somebody on my team comes to me and they're like, "Have you thought about it this way?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." Like at all. Like, I'm like, that is
You.
great. That is a great thing that you just thought of. Like, perfect. Like, but it's so
Right.
funny because every time somebody on my team comes to me, they act as if I would have already thought of it and ruled it out.
Mm,
And it's like, no,
mm,
your brain and my brain are wildly different. And I appreciate that you're saying, Shelby, this is ineffective. What about this? Or like, hey, wouldn't it be cute if we added this? Like, that's what
mhm.
I love and what I want more of is that like
Yeah,
different brain, right? Like
absolutely. Yeah,
okay,
and I'm working with a right. That's why we have other people. We can't accomplish this by ourselves. I was talking with a client, and we are doing some work around conflict and communication, and they have this amazing creative group of people who are doing some phenomenal work in the world that is like people would know what they do if I'm not allowed
yeah,
to like say, but they would know what they do. And because you see it in media and things, and they're internally really struggling. And I was reminding them, I was like, the reason like this is zapping your joy and that we need to work on how do you have these hard conversations is because you are paying people for their expertise and their strong opinions. You
oh
want that.
yeah,
That's what you're bringing them in to do.
yeah,
The skill that we work on is not their expertise. It's how do
right,
they see how their expertise fits into the larger goal for the client and for your organization. And then how do we have that conversation? But you're paying them to have strong opinions. You
yeah,
want that. You want their expertise. And so I think that's another thing about how we work together is to remind you that you don't want people to dampen their expertise.
yeah,
You do want people to have humility to see how their expertise fits into the larger goal.
yes,
And those
yeah,
are two different, like, how do we develop that skill? So I think that was something really powerful too, is like Mo and the way we work together, just coming back to that as in culture, the way we work together and recognizing that sometimes people work differently.
yes,
And that's how we have to work that
right.
out.
And her point of like um figuring out like for example, her sending emails on the weekend
Oh
to her
yeah. Like a
assistant.
brain dump email of
Yes.
things.
Yes, which I have been on the receiving end a lot. And so I laugh because some of the most brilliant minds in the business work that way and just being cognizant of like our own attributes that can sometimes cause stress in our teams,
Yes.
even though
Yes.
they're superpowers, even though they're great and wonderful things and all of that, but how to kind of mesh that a little bit better of like, oh, I'll
Mhm.
send that on Monday so that you don't have to be in that working brain Saturday or whatever it
Mhm.
is. So I
Yeah.
love that point that she brought up as well.
All right. Now, don't just nod along. Go do something with what you just heard. What's your one tiny action step? And make sure you check the show notes for the link to the full episodes Shelby and I were just talking about if you want more than just a sip. And get in on the Joyosity Works very important party at jennwhitmer.com/books. You'll get the 5-minute Friday videos straight to your inbox, quick, useful, and full of joy-filled leadership tools. So we will see you next week for another sip.